Hello, welcome Sahar. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, thank you for giving me this opportunity.
So, welcome guys. This is the first episode of TLB author interviews, and we have amazing author Sahar Rashid here with us, the author of Tangle Threads. So, Sahar, first of all, welcome. A very warm welcome to you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm really happy to have you here. So, could you start by telling us about yourself? Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Yes, definitely. I'm Seher Rashid, an author who has always been fascinated by the art of storytelling. I mean, it's such a beautiful thing that we can even share our thoughts with others without boring them.
Yes,
And writing has always fascinated me.
that's good to hear. So, for those who haven't got a chance to dive into Tangle Threads, could you please give us a quick rundown about what the book is all about?
Yeah, sure. So, Tangled Threads is a story of an investigative journalist, Maya Oberoi. So she chooses a complicated case as her first case to investigate, a case from which everyone was running away because it was said to be that this case is cursed and everyone who tries to investigate it, something wrong happens with them. But she chooses it even when everyone asks her not to, and she delves into the case. Her uncle helps her to. Sorry, uh,
Ah, it's okay. You don't have to
so
be nervous.
uh, her uncle helps her to do things that are matlab, her uncle is an IS officer now, so he helps her with the things that she cannot reach. Police officials refuse to give her any sort of information, so she gets a partner with her and they both try to navigate it. The story is basically based upon how rich and influential people get away from everything they do.
Oh, that's really interesting. So, first of all, let me tell you guys that Tangle Threads has been on the charts for a while, and it has been in the top three hot new releases as well as ranked 17 in the thrillers list. So, Seher, how wild is that, and how does it feel to see your book resonate with so many readers?
It feels incredible. I did not even, when I started writing, I did not even imagine that this could happen someday. I mean, being a
Yes,
bestseller is a dream of every author, but I did not imagine it to be fulfilled so soon. When it became
that
the
you must
bestseller, one of my friends called me, "Ki, see the charts, your book is a bestseller."
you must have been through a overwhelming experience, right? So,
I,
yeah, yeah.
I was literally dancing around the house telling Papa, ki, Papa, my book has become bestseller. And everyone, even Mama was calling everyone
Of
that
course, you
buy the
worked
book.
hard. You have to celebrate it too. So, as you said, Maya, who's fresh out of college and dives headfirst into the investigative journalism, and she uncovers some truth, and that turns out to be more dangerous than she thought it to be. So, what inspired you to, write this story? Was it something personal you experienced, or did the idea just came to you?
The idea came to me gradually, but it was surely inspired by some personal experiences as well. So, one thing that might sound very ridiculous, the main plot twist of this book was taken from a dream I had, a very weird dream I had, and that was the major plot twist I tell.
Okay. So, dreams can be turned into books, right?
Yes, I just woke up and felt it. Matlab, this is an amazing idea. I should write it down.
That's great. So the stakes in Tangle Threads are like really incredibly high, and it feels like you must have immersed yourself in the investigative journalism thing, and it becomes more authentic and real. So, did you have to do any specific research for that?
Of course, I had to do a lot of research because this was my first book about investigative journalism and I did not know anything about it. Firstly, I researched the profession and what things they are allowed to do, what they are not, matlab, till what limit they can investigate. And one more thing I had to investigate is Maya's biggest weakness in the story is her self doubt, which keeps on stopping her from doing things. So I had to search a lot about it. That how do we represent it?
So Maya's character is brave and driven, and also you have shown her vulnerabilities in the book. So it's really good. It feels good to read as a reader myself. And so, which brings me to my next question is, as it is not your first book, you have written multiple books before this, and I'm really curious about your writing process. Were there days when you felt like the plot is flowing effortlessly, and were there days when the creative block you felt?
So I'm the kind of writer who writes daily, but I will, the main story on which I'm working upon, I will write it only when I'm getting the inspiration. It's sometimes I'm roaming around and I get the inspiration and I run back to my table to write it down. There were days when I was stuck on the story and I was so unsure what to do next, but it had to be completed.
I myself loved the plot and the thriller, mystery, and all that in the book. I really loved it. So, talking about the characters. So, is there any character in Tangle Threads that has a special place in your heart? Maybe someone who turns out to be more complex than you thought it to be.
So there are three major characters in the book, and they all turned out to be what I did not expect them to be. First of all, Maya, she turned out to be very complex. I had to rewrite the story again and again because her character was becoming something else, which it was supposed to be from. And Sanjay, the character was supposed to be Maya's guide, but it became my guide instead. And the tips I wrote, matlab, the inspiration he gave to Maya, I was getting that inspiration more. And Abhinav as well, he was just supposed to be a sidekick, but he turned out to be like, if I'm writing a sequel to it, he has to be the main character in it.
So we are getting a sequel, right?
Yes, most probably.
Note it down, guys. It's a spoiler. So I want to know that is there something that surprised you during the writing process? Something that you would want our aspiring authors to know? Like what what was your experience?
Uh, as far as I know and I have experienced, the writing and publishing industry is the most complicated of all.
Yeah,
I've researched the publisher, and there are over 19,000 plus publishing houses in the country, and only a handful of them are legit. Only a handful of them are worth going with. So, the most important tip for aspiring writer is that choose your publisher wisely. Because I've chosen the wrong publisher and I have regretted it as well. So that's why I'm telling you, if we are choosing the publisher, if we are, our book is like our soul. If we are handing it over to someone else, then they should be worth holding it.
guys, choosing a good publisher is a very important thing. So aspiring authors, keep it in mind. So we have a special segment in our interview is that one of your reader and our followers are are told to ask a question to you. So here's the question: is as Maya Oberoi, she's into the investigative journalism and she comes to face many dangerous situations. So what made her stand out as a protagonist for you?
What made her stand out as a protagonist for me? What we think a protagonist is something like a hero, but she's
Yeah,
not like a hero. She's just like a normal person. She has her vulnerabilities. She backs out from things because she thinks she's weak and she accepts it.
yeah,
And she also wants to help people. When she can do so, she wants to help them.
yeah. That's good to hear. So uh, as I haven't yet completed the book. I have just started it, and is I want to know that what people who are reading your book will go away with the message you want to deliver to the people who are reading it.
So they will go away with two to three things. One thing, that the moment a man wears the lens of greed, she is deemed to be finished. And the second thing is doing unethical things. Matlab, if you want to achieve power and money, doing unethical things for that is not right. Also, we can do anything, even if we are weak, even if we have our weaknesses like self doubt, or we are a emotional person as well, we
Yeah.
can handle it.
Yes. That's an amazing, powerful message you have given to our public. So this is the last question of our interview is I as a reader as well as our audience is really eager to know what is next for you. Any upcoming projects you want to tell us about?
Okay, this might sound too much, but I'm currently working upon three projects.
Oh,
One,
that's
as
great.
I told earlier, that Shadows of Duty, I'm planning to republish it. So I and my editor are editing it. And one thing I'm working on is the sequel for Tangle Threads. I've completed outlining it. And the third book I'm working on is, it is quite different from Tangled Threads and these themes and all. It is more of a mind. It's kind of psychological thriller I'm working on.
That's really exciting. We are definitely keeping an eye out for that, me as well as my audience. So, Seher, thank you so much for joining us today. It was pleasure having a conversation with you, and to everyone who's watching, thank you guys to. Join us, and don't forget to grab your copies of Tangle Thread. It has mystery, it has thrill, it has the investigative plot. So just grab your copies if you haven't yet. And thank you, Sahir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me here. It was pleasure talking to you.
Same, likewise. And guys, this is the very first episode, and we are going to have more episodes like this. So stay tuned. That's all for today. Thank you. See you.
Thank you so much. Bye.